So like we back live, y'all. Everybody that's on my live, man, you can go ahead and go to the, you know what I'm saying? We got the live video, man. Go to ISUPK South Carolina page. If you can, go to the ISUPK South Carolina page if you're here, because I'm about to close out this live. But we are live on our page. Good. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, it's like, man, that's how horrible it is, man. America has destroyed us so much, man, that we really had to make a decision on what's best for us, man. Like, you would think your life is more important than paying the bill. But for us being in this land, man, we are so destroyed. Like, we got to pay our bills, man. We got to pay our bills. We got to take care of our kids. Because if you don't pay your bills, guess what's going to happen? America has oppressed us so much. I'm just going to break this down. This is kind of off a little bit. But America has lied so much to us and destroyed us. Last year was horrible with the coronavirus for blacks, man. It was horrible for us, man. It was so horrible that we knew we could die from having this virus, but we still went to work.
That's right.
And you had mothers and fathers going on the front line, especially a lot of our sisters who work in the healthcare field, who were CNAs, working inside your nurse homes, working inside your hospitals. They went to these jobs knowing that they can take the chance on losing their life with the coronavirus, knowing that they can get affected. And they went to these jobs. And then they had to come home from these jobs and come home around their family, come home around their children, their babies, their husbands. They out there spraying themselves with Lysol just to try to fight back and protect everybody in the household, praying to the Most High that I pray that I don't bring this virus home. Do you know what type of stress that does to a person? The psychological damage that does to a person, knowing that I could come home from work today and bring the virus and kill my whole family. Like, we put our lives on the front line for America, man. And look how America paid us back, man. America paid us back by passing the bill for the Asians to be protected. That's how our president, not our president, but that's how America's president paid back blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So, like, sir, you got it all wonderful in the article, sir.
It says,
Kind of what, sir? I keep going a little bit too. You ready, Otto one? I keep talking a little more, sir.
Yeah, you got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hell that we're going through, man. And it's like the church tries to pacify that your black, like especially our black leaders, our so-called black leaders, they won't never speak about this. They won't never, your Black Lives Matter movement, they won't never speak about this type of injustice because they don't see this. Only the men of God here in the ISUPK, we see these things being done to our people. Right. And we go on the streets and we speak about this every Saturday. Every time General Yohana tells us to go to them streets, we go to the streets and we call America on this oppression that they give to us, man.
That's right.
Because your politicians, your black politicians, your black leaders, your black Christians, your black entertainers, they don't see this.
That's right.
And they're not going to say anything about it. But we see this and we call America on it, man. It's like, so you got it out of one.
It says COVID-19 is also having a disproportionate economic impact on African-American families.
Oh, who out of one?
On African-American families.
It didn't say the Asian community. It didn't say the Asian families. It said the African-American families. You got it, sir.
African-American small businesses have been hit hard, and over 90% of African-American owned businesses are estimated to be shut out of the initial relief program due to the pre-existing systematic disparities in lending.
Good. He said 90%. That's pretty much every black business. They said 90% just so it wouldn't sound bad. But in other words, what he's saying is all black businesses were going to be shut down during the coronavirus, man. And we wasn't going to be able to get those loans like everybody else was going to get.
Right.
They giving out the PPP loans right now, but look how many people going to jail behind it right now, man. Look how many of our people are going to jail behind it. Because a lot of our people did have businesses. And a lot of people did need those PPP loans. But our people are so destroyed, they had to take the money and try to build themselves back up. Pay bills in their house, paying car payments, getting things they need because they already don't put everything inside of this business. And then the coronavirus hit, we don't get the relief that the white community get. We don't get the relief that the Asian community get. We don't get the relief that the East Indian community gets. We get nothing. And they even said 90% of the black businesses were going to shut down, man.
It's like
Kind of one kind, sir.
Man, this is heavy. I want to go back to this part right here. It says 90% of African American owned businesses are estimated to be shut out of the initial relief program due to pre-existing. It says pre-existing systematic disparities in lending.
So
in other words, if I could,
good night. Come on,
in other words, black people ain't never been able to get money, like loans like that. Like, this is a pre-existing situation. This is not something that just happened out of nowhere.
Right.
Black people have always been denied for loans, always been denied for credit. You understand? Like, all the other nations go and they apply for loans and credit and they get it, regardless of what their credit looks like.
Right.
But you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman, you go in there in them loan offices and they deny you, and you just trying to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, white man, he out there trying to start businesses and, you know, he trying to just, I guess, build his Fortune 500 company.
Right.
And make it better and bigger and get filthy rich or whatever. You just trying to eat. You just trying to live.
That's it.
You just trying to live every day, make sure that rent gets paid or whatever, and you still can't even get one goddamn measly loan. You can't even get a penny. Because you're already, it's saying that you're disproportionate already in this point. So like, y'all, that's all I wanted to bring up.
And to go out what you said, I don't want. They said they already knew 90% of black businesses were going to be shut out of this program. 90% of black people who had a business, they was not giving Negroes the loans that they were giving to everybody else. And just a sidebar, I remember this heathen from East India telling us when we was in high school, when her family came from over there from the Middle East, the government when her dad got right off the plane and he had to go do the paperwork it takes to qualify you as a citizen, they brought him inside of a smaller office and they told him about the loans they were going to give him. The American government gave him a loan for $250,000. And he had just came to America. Gave him a business loan for $250,000 to open up an establishment.
Meanwhile, if I could,
meanwhile,
they tell you here in America that if you want a loan, you got to build your credit up, right?
Good night.
And how many black people do you know anything about building credit?
Right.
Not enough. Apparently 90%.
Right. Good.
Right. And they say 90% of business owners can't get damn loans. We go out there and start businesses, but 90% of black businesses can't get a loan. So can you imagine the average black person trying to get a loan? 90% of our nation of people can't get a damn loan. But they'll give you some high interest garbage.
Right.
Something that's going to put you in further debt. Something that you got to make a big, stupid, large down payment on. That's going to ruin your life anyway, because you're not going to be able to pay it back. And they're going to call you every day until you pay them that damn money. Most of us ain't going to pay it back.
Right.
But that's just the conditions of this hell that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in hell. Like he said, a foreigner from another country can come over here and get a $250,000 loan off back, start a business up. His family is taken care of. That's all it really need. You really need. I mean, you can start a business with less than that, but that's all you really need. $250,000, you can get you a storefront, open you a convenience store, get your products, and that thing can be successful. You know what I'm saying? A black man can't get that, man. Black woman can't get that.
Good,
she got to go through hell just to establish the qualifications. He got to go through hell just to establish the qualifications to get a damn loan, where an Asian man or an Indian man can come here and automatically get $250,000, and they're not even citizens. They wasn't even born here. They barely speak English. They don't know nothing about U.S. currency. You know, it's that's the hell we live in.
Good night. Damn. It's horrible to hear this story out of one. And this is before he's running for president. This is before he even became president. This is what he already had seen. So like I said, I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish it up, sir.
God, it says, I'm gonna start right here. It says, Biden has been calling for the nation's relief and recovery efforts to be equitable and just, including by designing relief programs in ways that avoid methods we know lead to desperate outcomes, so that funds can actually reach African American families and communities. And small businesses, President Trump has not heeded his warnings. If Biden was president today, he would make it a top priority to ensure that African American workers, families, and small businesses got the relief they need and deserve.
So like I had to laugh because this is before he became president. This is what he said. He said if Biden becomes president, he's gonna do all of these things to help the black community. So like I said, I'm gonna read this other article that I got out of one. Now this article I'm reading now. This article was published May 21st, 2021. Now, this is Joe Biden. He is the president. Now, I don't want to just read what Biden said he was going to do if he was president. So, like, sir, could you read that again out of one that he said he'd do if he became president?
Come, 1 second.
Bob could shot the water, so I appreciate it too,
right
out of
here
one.
It says, if Biden was president today, he would make it a top priority to ensure that African American workers, families, and small businesses got the relief they need and deserve.
Good night. Now I'm gonna read you what Biden is doing now, since he is becoming president.
Right.
All right. This article right here it's called. It says, here's what the new hate crimes law aims to do as attacks on Asian Americans rise.
Right.
It reads. It says, following overwhelming support from both chambers of Congress, President Biden signed legislation Thursday that addresses hate crimes throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, with particular emphasis on the increase in violence against Asian Americans. Now, we just read to you where this devil last year said he knew all of the systematic oppression that was going on towards black people. He said he knew by the overwhelming numbers on how much black people were hurting during this time, during the coronavirus, during the COVID, time, when it was really on its peak and on its rise. But last Thursday, this devil passed the bill to stop the increase in violence against Asians and Americans. I mean, how many videos they might have showed us from Asians? Maybe. I'm not saying it's right, because we don't believe in doing any type of, jumping on people and hurting people. But I might have seen maybe 10 videos at the most of Asians, if even 10, of Asians being brutally, jumped on by civilians.
It's a lot. That's in the history of America. And I'm talking about from what I've seen.
Kind of a kind.
Right? I mean, it might be more out there, I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. It's a ton of videos of niggas getting knocked upside the head. And women and sisters getting knocked upside the head. And children getting shot by cops.
Since the camera has been invented, we have seen it.
Yeah. It was normal. It was normal in the 20s, 30s, and 40s to be walking down a dirt path and see niggas hanging in trees. And it still happens today. So modern day lynching, you get shot in the street for just being a Negro at the wrong place at the wrong time.
And this devil right here, man, it's disgusting. That's why I gotta read this scripture out of one again. So like you said, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Because Joe Biden, he was speaking smooth words to us when he was running for president.
That's right.
But the one thing that the black community didn't know was war was in his heart, man.
That's right.
Because for him to overlook what we have went through and to pass this bill for the Asian community, that is an act of war, man. Other nations would go to war with this president if he done this to him. Let him would have done that to to the East Indians. They would have had something to say. And this is the reason why he pushed this bill for the Asians, because he knew if he didn't push this bill, this could result in war. This can result in peace treaties being broken. This can result on deals being squashed between the Asians and the Americans. That's why he pushed the bill. Black people didn't know him pushing this bill for the Asians and not for blacks is the act of war against us, man. It's because war is in his heart. That's the reason why he's not trying to push these bills for us, man. That's the reason why he's lying about everything he ever said he was going to do for the black community, man. Because this devil went up there and said on national TV when he was holding his campaigns, when he was another devil who was holding black babies. I would have never let Joe Biden hold my child. Good night. Like, that child molester. I would have never. I call him Dirty Joe. I think I might be the famous person in Israel for calling Joe Biden Dirty Joe. That's his name. His name is Dirty Joe to Officer Bun, because he is a dirty bastard, man. Like, he went to I think he went to the Breakfast Club, if I'm not mistaken. He went, if I might be wrong, but I know he went on somebody's radio station and he said, "You are not black if you don't vote for me."
I believe that was on Charlamagne's show on the Breakfast Club. I believe he did say that.
Come on, man. And I hadn't heard one peek out of the Breakfast Club. He went on the Breakfast Club and said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me."
And if I could, people don't notice, man. Like I said before, all politicians, they say those things like they always try to say something about black people try to make it seem like it's in a positive light. You know what I'm saying? Just to get your attention, to make you think that that's why they need to be president. Like, I need to be president because I'm gonna help you. I know about, and like this is the crazy part about Biden. Like, Biden is saying, I know about all of the systematic oppression. He's been knowing about it back when he was a politician, way before he became a president. When he was, whatever he was back in the Clinton administration, and before that, he been doing that. This is not nothing. This is not like just because he became president or because he was running for president, he went and researched and found out that black people was being oppressed. he been doing that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the more you see these politicians on TV, the more it becomes a circus. If you actually are listening, and you're listening from the standpoint of the truth. Because if you're not in the truth, if you're not getting the wisdom and the understanding of the Bible and learning how devilish this serpent is, or how devilish this man is above us, you'll never be able to tell that you're being lied to.
Right.
You'll get lied to, and you accept it because it makes you feel good. It soothes your spirit, it soothes your heart, your mind, and you like it. It's the Christian church. Everybody who's familiar with the Christian church knows, and I grew up in the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that pastor will say anything to get you to put all your money in that plate.
Right.
He'll say anything. He'll tell you that Jesus is going to bless you, my sister. Jesus is going to bless you, my brother. You put that money in there, God is going to bless you. Meanwhile, he's riding around in a Rolls Royce, and your black tail can't even pay your rent. You understand? Your behind can't even keep, your life's about to get cut off.
Right.
But you're putting the last bit of your money in his pockets, and he ain't doing nothing but buying fancy cars with it. So the politicians are the same damn people. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord hates it, man. He's going to show these politicians, I'm trying to tell you, and these pastors.
Ooh-wee.
They're going to get it.
And so, like I said, if I could, I don't want. You remember last year when we was holding class, every week it seemed like we was given a story on how the Most High was killing these pastors inside of these churches. Just like that pastor who said, he came out of his mouth and said, "I'm not afraid of the coronavirus." And the next week he died.
He died.
That's a true story. He stood up and the Most High was like he didn't know the power he was dealing with. Like, these pastors think the Most High is just some joke. This pastor stood up. This black pastor, this is a true story. This happened last year. This pastor stood up and said, "I'm not afraid of the coronavirus." And the next week he died. Because the Most High is a man of war, man. He's nothing to play with, man. And like I don't want to say it, these politicians and these pastors are going to learn, man. I'm gonna get a scripture, so like, sir, if I could, I'm gonna go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6, sir.
Give me 1 second.
Kind of what kind, sir? Need some help? I got you. Just push them 2 parts down. Just push both on down. Yeah. You ain't gonna hurt the bottom. You not.
You said Ephesians, wasn't it?
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6, sir. I got you. Pass it.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words.
Ooh-wee. Let no man deceive you with vain words, man. That plan that Joe Biden had for the black community,
That's good.
those were vain words. And what does the word vain mean? It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? The word vain, only thing the word vain means, man, it means nothing. Useless. Let no man deceive you with useless words, man. That whole article Joe Biden gave last year is useless to the black community right now.
That's right.
That thing is trash. Like, I wish I had a copy of it so I can ball it up and shoot it in the trash can. Because it's trash. It's useless. You know, one day that article will make good toilet paper for somebody, man.
That's right.
You know, he did all that time. Whoever wrote, I'm gonna find out who wrote the article, and Lord allow, I'm gonna email them and just tell them that article was trash for the black community. It was useless. Like, Joe Biden deceived us, man, with his vain words, man. That's why we say in the UPK the white man is the devil. It doesn't mean a man with a pitchfork coming out of the ground, sticking you and doing all type of crazy things to you. It just means that he's a deceiver. He's a liar. That's all it means. It just means that this man is a liar. And this man lied to us with his useless words, man. Tricked us again, man. And we stood on them corners battling our people on the street corners, telling them not to vote, not to do this. Because when we vote, we anger the Most High, man. We make the Most High mad when we go out there and try to vote for some oppressor to be over us, man.
That's right.
It's like, so you got it, sir.
It says, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of the Most High upon the children of disobedience.
Ooh-wee. And that's what the Most High did to us, man. He put his wrath on us because we believed this man's vain words, man. We let this man deceive us with his vain words once again. And not one black politician, not one black Christian pastor, not one black entertainer stood up and said anything, man.
That's right.
None. The only people that stood up and said something was the ISUPK. We went to the streets with it, man.
That's right.
We dealt with our people throwing bottles at us, cussing us out, calling the police on us, trying to kick over our signs, trying to fight us and everything. Now, I think that's what the Kentucky 8 got to fighting about, was something on that situation.
So like, if I could,
Kind of one kind, sir.
he was big, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, but I believe they got attacked by a protest that was Black Lives and Gay Lives,
Oof.
LGBT community thing.
Good night.
Right, and the brothers got attacked because, of course, what we say in the ISUPK is controversial,
Kind of one kind.
and we're telling the truth, and the truth is you can't like that. We live in a place where telling the truth is it'll get you killed or
Damn
get you
right.
hurt. But of course, the Lord is with the ISUPK.
Damn right.
So even these few men, these 8 men, you know what I'm saying, in the ISUPK, our brothers, give them a hand.
Damn right.
You understand? They stood against a crowd that wanted to do nothing but harm them for the righteous things that they were saying.
Right.
And the Lord dealt with them and allowed our brothers to get out of there good. And guess what? Them brothers in Kentucky, they still go out there and have camp out there in Kentucky.
Damn right.
And ain't nobody gonna run them off that corner.
Damn right.
Punks in here, man.
Damn right. If I'm not mistaken, one of the people I think a group of the people that tried to attack the brothers, I think a couple of them got shot and murdered by somebody
A
else.
few of them, and that was another one. Get a Lord a hand on that one.
God.
Because a lot of them got killed from coming up against the Lord's prophets, man.
Damn right.
And that's a biblical thing. You know what I'm saying? You cannot. You know what I'm saying? The Lord says, "Do not touch my anointed. Don't touch my children, man. Don't touch these ones who labor for me." You know what I'm saying? And once you come up against them, man, you got a price to pay. There's a price to pay. So,
God. And I'm just going back in on that scripture. The one, it's like, with our people doing these various things, like marching, like a lot of people marched last year for Joe Biden to become president. And I remember we was watching videos where when Joe Biden became president, the streets were packed like it was a parade. It was packed with blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, Black Lives Matter movement, the LGBTQ community. The streets were packed with these people as a celebration for Joe Biden winning. Now, I didn't see any Asians out here when Joe Biden became president, but I did see blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and you know they got to throw the LGBTQ community in there with that as well. They was out there celebrating Joe Biden becoming president, but they didn't know that when we did that, we angered the Most High, man. We angered the Most High, and he allowed his wrath to come down on us. Now, black people think that the Most High is not mad at us anymore, but the Most High is still pissed at us, man. He's still mad at us because a lot of our people are still putting their trust and their hope and their love inside of the words of Joe Biden. They still believe that there's some hope in him. You know what I'm saying? But now with him passing this bill, a lot of our people are starting to understand that there's no reason for us to have any hope in America anymore. Like, we can't have any hope or any love in America when a president that blacks, Hispanics, and natives voted in goes and pass a bill to protect the Asian community, who's also beating the hell out of black people, to pass a bill to protect them. Now, I'm going to get back to this article right here. I'm going to go to what Joe Biden said in his tweet. Joe Biden made a tweet last week at 8:30 a.m., May 20th, 2021. He said, "Hate has no place in America, and I look forward to making it that clear this afternoon by signing the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law." That's what President Biden said last week. And last year he said that he was going to pass bills to help get rid of the hatred in America towards blacks. That's what he said last year. But then he comes out last week and says that he's going to pass the COVID bill, the COVID-19 bill, which is not aimed at helping the African American community. It's aimed at helping the Asian community.
That's right.
That is a slap in the face. Anybody that was marching with the Black Lives Matter movement, anybody that stood up and told us to vote for Joe Biden, anybody that told us your vote matters, is a damn lie, and they just got slapped in the face last week.
So like, if I could,
Kind of what kind, sir?
it would have been even more of a slap in the face if it was Ham that they did that for the Africans.
Damn.
Like I like, and black people don't understand the extent of how angry they should be because of this. Like, you should be angry at what they did for the Asians. They passed a bill that you went and got hosed down and had dogs sicked on your behind for. They got a bill passed for that. Could you just imagine if they had passed that for the protection of Africans, the same people who sold you into slavery to the white man? Like, go back and read your history, man. Them Africans don't love us.
Hell no.
They're not even us. They're not us. We don't look alike. We don't do the same things. We're not the same people.
Right.
Negroes have always been a different race of people, and that is not only biblical, but that's historical. And when the white man came to when he came to the Ivory Coast, he brought Negroes from the Africans for guns. Like we were traded off for ammo and guns.
And good wine.
And wine. And probably cocaine.
Most definitely cocaine.
Well,
the coke was there. wherever's a white man around, drugs are around. Salakia.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, and even that's biblical out of one. That's biblical. They sold us for guns and wine. They did that, man. And that would have been, and they wise enough not to do that though. That devil was wise enough not to pass that bill for Ham, because that really would have created, it would have really showed America that blacks in America and Africans are different people. So they were wise enough not to do that. But if they would have did it, that would have been a damn uppercut to the jaw right there. That would have been the worst thing ever. Like, you pass a bill to protect Africans, and then black people would have thought that would have been for us. But then we would have found out that that's not for us. And we are different people. So that devil, they wise now. They not stupid. But even with this bill right here being passed, we still should be angry, man. Like, black people protesting about the Black Lives Matter movement, we should be protesting about this. We should be on the streets speaking about this. So-called Black Lives Matter movements, you so-called Christian pastors. That's why the Lord is not dealing with y'all. He's only dealing with the ISUPK. Because we see these things happening, and we see the injustice, and we go out on the streets and we call America for it, man. We call America on the things that they're doing towards our people, man. We call them on it. Because we know nobody else is going to step up and do it, man. All right, I'm going to read the rest of this article. Slakia. It says, at an event in the East Room of the White House, Biden thanked lawmakers for coming together to pass the legislation. Good night. Biden thanked the lawmakers. So he was with the lawmakers last week. The people who pass laws in establishments in America. Biden was with them and he thanked them. Let's see what he thanked them for. It says, Biden thanked lawmakers for coming together to pass the legislation. He said, standing against hatred and racism, which he called the ugly poison that has long hunted and plagued our nation, is what brings America together. Good night, man. This is horrible. This is another horrible article to read. If you hear in the UPK, you understand why this is so horrible. He said the ugly position. He said standing against hatred and racism, which is called the ugly poison that has long hunted and plagued our nation in America. He said this has plagued America forever. But what he's not realizing is it was done against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians first.
Right.
Like that poison that he's talking about, that plague that he's talking about, they did that to us. They're the problem. But he's such a slick devil. He's so smooth with his words. They try to take the hatred that they have for us away, and they try to put that on towards Asian. They try to make it seem like it's black people who are only attacking Asian. That's why you haven't seen videos of white people attacking Asians like that. You don't see them videos. The videos that they publish for the media to see is always black young men attacking Chinese people. It's always some woman beating up some Chinese woman. They trying to push the image as if we are the ones who's racist. It's like, you got it, sir.
Cut it. So like if I could,
Cut it, sir.
we know that's not true.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you why, right? Even though the Lord tells us not to love these nations, right? And love meaning not to partake in their ways. Okay? That's what it means when we talk about love. You go back to the 70s, right? 60s and 70s. And who was black people trying to emulate the most?
Ooh, we.
Them damn Asians. Bruce Leroy. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was putting on the black men. You see them in the movies with the gis on and the afros, and they doing the karate chopping and this and that, and blah 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 in the movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to be like that. And brothers and sisters, they just like how we honor the white man and how we look up to every other nation. We looked up to the Asians too.
Right.
We wanted to be like them. We wanted to speak like them. Damn, Bruce Lee. Like, I don't know any Negro that didn't want to be like Bruce Lee.
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. And he's a devil for real.
Yeah, he's a white man.
I believe was white. But anyway, we want to be like them so bad. You know what I'm saying? And even today, right? Black people support their business more than any other business.
Right.
Like especially sisters. Sisters get their nails done, get their hair done by, well, not their hair, but get their nails done by them. You know what I'm saying? Go and get get waxes and massages and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they can't say that the hatred, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to spin it off like the hatred that America has on Asians is coming from Black Americans, right? This is not coming from everybody. This is Black Americans. They try to shift the narrative over to us, like we just some crazy ass people that sit around and abuse people.
Right.
When even Commander Jenny Hanna said this, we are the most loving nation of people on this earth.
Damn right.
And it makes sense. It makes sense because even though we are the greatest nation on this earth, even though we have our own style, our own culture, we have our own beauty, and we are the greatest on this earth, right? Some people say we are the salt of the earth, right? We are still trying to be like everybody else.
Right.
We trying to do everybody else thing. We trying to look like everybody else. We trying to be like everybody else in the way we dress, in the way we wear our hair, in the way we wear our makeup, and how we act, and how we talk, and how we do anything. We're trying to be like everybody else except for our damn self.
Right.
So how is it that they can push that narrative that we hate them Asians when Black people be loving everybody? We want to be Muslim, even though Islam is for the Arabs. Black people are like Black people in every religion and every damn thing that's pertaining to everybody else except for ourselves.
Right.
But we hate everybody. Nah, that ain't the case.
Damn right.
That ain't the case. We the most loving people on this earth.
Damn right. Get out of one hand. That is true. I'll never forget the 2000s. I don't want just a sidebar. I'll never forget the 2000s. Well, I forgot what year Rush Hour 1 came out. I think it was like 99. Everybody was big.
I think it was 99 when the first one came out, right?
I think so. Mm-hmm. And it was like the Asian community and the Black community, they set it off big. I mean, everybody had on a dragon silk button-up shirt back then. I had one myself. That's like it.
Now everybody uncle wearing it.
Everybody uncle had.
Crackhead uncle wearing it now.
That's who everybody who has it now. Hey, listen, like those shirts that you seen back then, the dragon silk shirt.
Yeah.
Somebody uncles who smoke crack has it, cause it's like I'm not gonna. Sorry, but listen, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 2000s, you had Drew Hill, Enter the Dragon.
Come on, man.
This nigga made an album called Enter the Dragon. Drew Hill. Everybody had I'll never forget the dragon. If you had that silver chain with the dragon on the end, man, we pushed the Asian community up, man. Like in the early 2000s, like when it began, we put the Asian community up. And those bastards who made Rush Hour 1 knew what they were doing because the Asian community was falling because we wasn't supporting them. Black people wasn't eating Chinese food back then like that.
No, hell no.
Back then, we weren't even going inside the Chinese restaurants. We was staying away from it because that rumor had already been around. You eating cats and dogs when you're going in there. It's not a rumor. It's actually the truth. You stay in the neighborhood and you don't see a lot of cats and dogs. Beware. So I'm gonna tell you, beware. That's not Kung Fu chicken. That's Lassie food chicken.
That's Kung Fu meow. Meow lo mein.
You eating cats. They ain't talking about the opera version. You know what I'm saying? Like, we pushed their community up. And they made movies like Rush Hour to help push us closer together. Mm-hmm. And it didn't make Asians love us more. It made us love Asians more.
That's right.
And the Black community, we love the Asian community. I mean, we used to be all inside the Asian beauty stores back when I was young. I mean, we was getting earrings. You had people getting contacts. That's when the contacts was picking up because you couldn't go buy contacts from anywhere. The Asians had all of it. They had the contacts, the fake jewelry, the earrings.
The baby doll slippers or the little slippers with the different colors, assortments of colors.
Those slippers right there, they was killing the game. The crackhead silk shirt now, what it's called now. But back then, you was the man if you had one.
Yeah.
But they had that shirt going around. They was making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And that's what pushed the Asian community up, man. That's what pushed them up. And Joe Biden goes now when the coronavirus hit. And Black people wasn't even the ones who made that rumor or pushed that thing out, that narrative that the Chinese flu or the coronavirus came from the Asian community. President Trump said that. Donald Trump said that. And guess who ate that up? The white community. They ate it up, and they was out there. They was the ones who telling them, go back to Asia. Y'all bringing the virus over here. Man, you ain't hear black people saying that, man. We was on the front line working, trying to survive.
That's right.
But now, here in 2001, they push it in the media that it's us who are attacking the Asian community. It's us who are robbing the Asian community. And people are so unwise that they eating it up. They had some Asian who tries to act black. He's mad at this brother because the brother was saying F the Asian community. He was like, F y'all. Now it wasn't wise, but I understand. He was like, F the Asian community. He said, y'all ain't got nothing to do with us anyway. He was like, F y'all. He said, F anything y'all stand for, F y'all traditions, F all y'all people. And then the Asian who acts black got on there and said, you could tell he wanted to call him a nigga, but he didn't say it. But he was like, he said, when I see him, I'll punch him in the face. He was like, boy, because you can't disrespect my people like that. But you're an Asian acting black. You an Asian acting like us. And it just goes to show you, man, that's why we got to separate from these nations, man.
It's like if I could.
Kind of one
it makes
concept.
no sense because you acting black, which is like against your culture and who you are. You know, their ancestors would have been ashamed of them.
His head would have got cut off.
their ancestors were like, you acting like a nigga like that? Nah.
Some Asian with his hairline right here, with a ponytail right here, would have cut his head off.
Yeah.
And would have been ashamed.
Some Shaolin monk would have disassembled his body or something, like disemboweled him. It just doesn't make any sense. But we should feel the same way when we see our people doing that. Man.
Damn right.
We should look at our brothers and sisters like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you dressed like that? Why do you look like that? Why are you talking like that? That's not you. Why are you holding his hand or her hand? That's not our culture. That's not us. We gotta hold each other accountable. If we don't, Lord surely will.
Come. It's like it, sir. And I'm gonna just sideball also. Now, this bill that they passed for the Asian Americans, it's not only gonna go for the Chinese community, but it's also gonna go for the East Indian community. Because with Kamala Harris being in the chair, this is a sidebar for people who don't know this. Kamala Harris is not a black woman. She's actually a white woman because her grandfather is a white man. But she has East Indian family members. So she doesn't classify herself as a black woman. She classifies herself as a South Pacific and Asian woman. So now this bill that they passed in law for the Asian community is not just going to protect the Chinese community. It's going to protect the East Indian community as well, because they classify themselves as a nation of Asian people. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they call it. It's some type of word that they call themselves now. It's called something. It's SPA, South Pacific Asian, but it's something like that. But we don't even a lot of black people don't even understand. Even though that bill says the Asian hate crime bill, it's not just going to help the Chinese community. It's also going to help the East Indian community. So now when little JoJo walk inside the East Indian establishment, he whooped one of them East Indians' ass, they going to give Salakia, he whoops one of the East Indian tails, he's going to get hit with a hate crime. He's going to get hit with a hate crime. Because this bill, man, we have to be careful when it comes to dealing with these devils, man. Like the things that they do and the bills they pass, they're very wise, man. And they're very specific on things that they do. You know what I'm saying? And now it makes sense now on the reason why the East Indian community will call themselves South Pacific Asians. You know what I'm saying? Because now that this bill has been pushed in place, this bill is also going to protect them for the violence that America tries to give them. Like they killed two birds with one stone pretty much with this bill. Like we should be very upset, man. We should be very mad. Because not only did the Chinese get rights, but the East Indians got rights as well, man. They got rights. Like everybody got rights except for us, man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read a little more of this article, then I'm gonna go to scriptures. It says, Vice President Harris introduced Biden ahead of signing and reflecting on the increase in violence against Asian Americans. She said, "This violence, it did not come from nowhere, and none of it is new. In my life experience, I have seen how hate can pervert our communities," she said. Harrison, who is the first Asian American vice president, like we just said, Kamala Harrison made everybody believe she was black. Black women were celebrating, they were clapping. You know, you had Kamala Harrison eat collard greens with hot sauce on it, and black women was like, yeah, she black. No. Kamala Harrison is a Asian American. She tricked y'all. She played y'all. You got bamboozled. Like this is come on, man.
So like if I could.
Come on, sir.
And let's entertain that she was black, right? Even though we know she's not. Let's entertain that she is black. Look at her track history, man.
Ooh wee.
Look at how many Negroes got locked up under her. Was prosecuted by her. You understand? And it was over petty crimes. I mean, real petty crimes. She was giving big numbers to brothers and sisters for petty crimes. You know what I'm saying? No empathy at all for the you know, of course, and let me say this, man. I'm not saying that anytime you do something evil or wicked, man, there's gonna be a consequence for it. Right? And in the ISUPK, we know there's consequences for your actions.
Damn right.
So we're not trying to say that it's okay for a man to go and rob and murder and sell drugs and do that stuff. But we will say what we do know, what we do understand, that all of that is the product of this condition that they're in. All of that is because we are a cursed people. The whole fact, right? Just going a little bit further back, the whole fact that a black man cannot get, a black man or black woman can't get lending or money for their business, right? The whole fact that, you know, that black people are dying the way they are, disproportionate the way they are, or that they're dying more from COVID than anybody else, is more proof that we're the lost 12 tribes of Israel, man.
Damn right, sir.
It's more proof that we are the cursed people that the Bible talks about, because nobody is suffering this hell the way we are.
Right.
So I know.
Damn right, out of one. I want a hand, man. You right. And it's like, this lady, we know what she really is. In the ISUPK, we know she's truly a white woman. But America classified her as the first Asian American vice president. And you would look at her and be like, I don't see the Asian in her. Like, she doesn't have the slanted eyes, or she doesn't speak Chinese. But America, these devils, man, and these oppressors, they are very wise when it comes to things that they do. Like, this bill got passed, and you would think it would just help the Chinese community. But it's not just for the Chinese. Like, if you got time, go look at a map and see where India is at, man. Go see where India is at and what goes in right there with Asia. And it's going to blow your mind when you find out. Because this bill isn't just for the Chinese community. It's also for the East Indian community. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that these devils know, they know East Indians cannot stand black folks in America. They hate us with a passion, man. They truly hate us, man. Like, hell, we right here where some East Indian devils at right now, some heathens. And they cannot stand us, man. They cannot stand us. They don't like us. They hate us. They always doing little spiteful and evil things. But that's the reason why the Most High is going to do what he do to these devils, man, these heathens, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm going to get a couple more scriptures. Let me get a couple more scriptures. So, like I said, if I could, out of one. Can I get Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 15, sir? Salaki, sir. I'll just do Psalms 9 and 7, sir.
Psalm 97.
Count on what kind, sir. And I'm gonna talk for a little bit. I don't want Salaki, sir. And this right here is what's gonna happen to these heathen nations, man. All of these heathen nations who have come against us and tried to destroy us, man. In America, East Indians, the so-called African nations, so-called Chinese, all of these different nations, the Arabs, all of these nations that have come against us, the Most High has something for all of y'all, man. So, like, sir, whenever you is, Ottawa.
Psalms 9 and 7.
Oh, 17, sir.
Oh, Salaki.
So, like, sir, my bad, Ottawa.
1 second, I'm just scroll down real bit. Psalms 9 and 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell.
And that's what we seeing now. We turned on our TV, and all of these wicked bastards are starting to see hell. The Palestinians, the Jewish man, the Arabs, these East Indians, all of these heathen nations that are doing harm to us, they are starting to see hell, man. We seen that Jewish man, he got his ass slacking. He got his tail handed to him by them Palestinians. He got beat so bad, he ran inside the police was protecting him. He ran inside of some organization, matter of fact, a Chinese organization. He ran inside of there, blooded and beat up. And when they pointed the camera on him, he lifted up his shield to David as if he's one of us. To let them, he was letting the Palestinians know, yeah, I'm Jewish. What you gonna do about it? But they had already beat the hell out of him by then. But now, all of these nations are starting to experience hell, man. And we got to get a Most High hand in, man, because you got laws like this, which Joe Biden just passed last Thursday, and then you turn on your TV Friday, and you seeing these heathen nations fighting and warring amongst each other. The Most High is doing us because these wicked nations, man, they have been horrible to us, and now the hell that we have experienced, they're going to start to experience, man. That's why it's so important for us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come back and serve the Most High correctly, man. Because when we do, all of these other nations, they're going to start to experience hell, man. It's only going to get worse. Like, it's finna heat up. They just already said that the temperature for the heat is finna be, like, they trying to figure out why is it finna be this hot. They got something called the heat dome. I said, damn, I ain't never heard of that. They said we should beware this week right here because America's about to experience something called the heat dome. They said it's not even the summertime yet, but the temperatures is going to be in the 95 and 100 degree range, man. And it's not even summertime yet. And they said Joe Biden he's trying to push another bill in to get America ready for the hurricane season because they already know the Most High's wrath, man. You got it, Ottawa.
He is cranking it up.
Kind of what kind?
Y'all saw what happened in Texas. I ain't gotta say nothing else.
A snowstorm in Texas?
A snowstorm in Texas. Now, I'm from San Antonio, and it used to get to 110, 115 degrees easy. Hot. You know what I'm saying? 110 to 115 degrees easy in the summer in Texas, in San Antonio, right? We just recently got back from Houston. Y'all know how the heat is down there.
Ooh-wee.
Now, you talking about snow. I'm talking about a blizzard down in Texas, one of the hottest states, not too far away from the damn. You know what I'm saying? And you think the Lord ain't gonna bring a heat wave through here that's gonna be about as bad as that? Like, man, every year the Lord is gonna keep bringing more plagues, more signs. We're coming to the end of this place.
Damn right.
And that's why it's very important that we stop playing with the Most High, get up on these law, statutes, and commandments, and stop serving our enemies.
Damn
stop
right.
Serving the Most High, man.
Damn right. Gosh, like, sir, can I read that from the top again, sir?
Yeah, cuz it says, Psalms 9 and 17, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High.
And all the nations that have forgotten the Most High. Because all of these nations on the earth right now, they don't remember who the Most High is. They don't know who his people are. They don't know blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. So they have forgotten the Most High. And the Most High is about to give them a real good reminder, man. So that's why, like I don't want to say, it's important for us to stay here inside this truth and serve the Most High and separate ourselves from America, man. And we don't mean go get on the plane and fly to Africa or fly to Israel. Don't fly to Israel, please. Don't do it. You're going to learn the hard way. But the Most High is saying, man, all of these nations that have forgot him, they are going to be brought to hell.
That's right.
And with that, we're going to close out the class. All right. All right, ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother and sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 through 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the laws give you, give to the Treasury Department of teaching. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Outcome of Holy Convocation. It'll be, it's the Feast of First Fruits, which we are still in. It started right after the Day of Unleavened Bread, which was sundown, Sunday, May 2nd, 2021. You must count 50 days. And you celebrate the 50th day, which will be Sunday, June the 20th, 2001. It starts before sundown. You can read about this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 10. You can read about this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. All right. Announcement, Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, shalom.